Diamond Hill, and then Diamond Moore, and then Ashley.
I mean, this is a compliment. So you cannot make somebody work if they don't want to work. I'm not in team time to help you get your grades up. If you sitting on your phone, your headphones, and not listen to the teacher, I'm not going to help you waste my time. I got my own. I'm a 12th grader that have to pass in time. I'm not gonna help you if you don't want to pass.
All right, you guys, I want to share thoughts, please. All right, let's keep on. Let's go with the people that raised their hand, please. Diamond Moore.
Okay, first thing, what I was initially going to say was that right now we're just like, teams is just so rushed. So, like, we get into teams, and then the teacher's just rushing, like, we need to get this done. We need to make sure that's done. By the time we look up, there is no extra time left in certain teams. I think the team time will be more beneficial, but in the same breath, I understand people concerns about it taking time away from our work time, but maybe y'all can have like theme days. So maybe some days y'all just work on math, or y'all see your struggles in y'all teams, and then y'all focus on that.
Ashley. All right. What I'm going to say to your point real quick, Diamond Hill, is something that really helps you learn a content is if you're able to teach your content to someone new, that shows that you've really mastered a certain piece of content. So something to think about is when you are helping other people out with certain things, you're reteaching and learning it better. All right. I saw Stephen, was your hand up, or was that kind of?
Yeah.
Stephen, and then yours up too, kind of. All right, Stephen, kind of.
You go first. Go for it. Y'all still not listening. Y'all still not doing what certain students want. Y'all doing majority of what y'all think is right. Y'all not doing what every student wants.
No,
All right, we're gonna.
I wanted to know how did the choice of students, like how did your team coach get to pick the student that they be in?
So
How did y'all pick that?
Initially, we used the survey data as best as possible from the very first few weeks. We had you guys take a survey, whether you took that or not, of like what your interests were, what you wanted to be doing, and we kind of utilized that. And then other than that, if you didn't give us the information that we were asking for, you were placed in there kind of at random due to the fact that you didn't take the survey.
It is all within the
They
same
just all
person.
seem
Raise our hand, please.
This all just blending in with the stuff we're doing now.
All right, I saw Tennille, Terrence, Denise, and Diamond.
Last year, PACE was optional. So like, I feel like the percentage of students that want PACE, they should be in PACE because they focus in PACE.
All right.
That's how they learn. And the students that don't want PACE should be in regular classrooms because that's how they learn. And that's not fair if you're making it an obligation for somebody to be in PACE and that's not what they want to do. That's not what they used to do.
Once, raise your hand, please. I'm gonna let Evan speak to it.
Like you said, like some students want to be in there. They don't even know how they feel.
All right, sorry, I got cut you off, you're jumping on there, I thought you were going back through. So, the thing is, what it comes down to is right now within the circle, we're having a productive conversation about the actual schedule. All right, that is what we're discussing, and that is what we're focusing in on for the next, I can't see the clock, whatever it may be. All right, so, we're talking about what has been presented to you, whether it is paced, non-paced, that is something that we can't really necessarily bring up. What we're asking is that you guys give us productive feedback about what to help you with what is being put in place.
If you guys have those questions, they're valid questions, but like, you can see a teacher afterwards and we can talk to you more about that. This is like solution oriented right now.
About this schedule specifically, we need you guys looking at this. Can we bring it back, please? Hold on. You guys, please take a look at this, look it up here for a minute.
Okay, so I think that you guys have a lot of, and it's hard to coordinate with the 4 teachers. First of all, we appreciate and we understand you guys have a lot of thoughts, and it's also a lot to digest, okay? And that this is a short amount of time for questions. So it's not that we don't want to hear you. We wouldn't have had the meeting if we didn't want to hear what you have to say. So we want to make sure that, again, if you're feeling like you're not getting an answer, we'll be here after, okay, to talk more. The only, I wanna jump back to maybe what Kenneth and Anthony were saying, is that we have thought long and hard about this. And I wanna acknowledge that, like, we're in the pay space with you guys, okay? So, it's not just something that you're telling us, we see and understand a lot of your frustrations. However, we didn't make this necessarily what the teachers thought would work for any of us, okay? It wasn't one teacher's decision. What we did is we looked at what you guys said. And here's where because our concern, right, whether you were in PACE or weren't, right, is we want all students to have that 80% and to grow the 3 points on the ACT. So the reason where this came from is that if you look here, we're kind of stuck, right? It's finding a balance between the more class time and the less class time. More places for quiet, more places for group. Schedule is trying to find a balance of that. So it's not going to be exactly in the 39% who wanted more class time, or the 34 people, the 34%, because then that's ignoring the people who said they wanted less class time. So it's trying to find a balance of both. So we looked at this carefully and tried to do that.
All right, moving on, what we want to make sure we divert, or any comments that you guys have, be sure that it is towards productive talks of what is actually happening with what we're trying to do. I see Emmett, Denise, Steven, Anthony, and Ashley.
I think y'all should, like, each one of y'all should divide like 160 and get each person one-on-one and ask them about survey questions. Because some people don't even take the survey serious. So how can y'all rely on that and you make it take it serious? You don't know what I'm saying. And the person who said they want more class time probably really, like, honestly want less class time. He just clicking in your computer.
I
said though, everybody on the survey serious.
We tell you guys that we utilize this, and this is life. People use surveys to make their decisions. People use surveys to make their decisions in every span of work, and that's what we're using. And you can tell your peers that we do use these surveys. So if they're the ones kind of doing that, like, you can tell them that the teachers are looking at these surveys and implementing based off of what you're saying. I know that your voice isn't going to reach all of them, but with the number that you can reach, it may make the difference in the future on these surveys.
I think it's also important, like, you guys are gonna be in the real world soon, and like, just with anything in the real world, when decisions are made, they're intended to benefit all parties in some aspect, but at the end of the day, when a decision is made, some things you're not gonna get every single thing you want, but you're gonna get some of those things that you want, because some of those things might be somebody else might need something else when a decision is made, okay? So I want you to think about, like, the big picture of what's occurring here, okay?
Denise?
With a balance.
I feel like having an hour of team time because we're pretty much doing the same thing we're doing in advisory. If that was the case, y'all could have just made advisory in an hour, then go to our PACE or smart time.
Let her finish,
Yeah,
please.
but it's pointless. We go advisory, then we got to turn around and go to team time. Do the same thing we can do in advisory. So that's just wasting. Doing team time is just wasting up our time doing
We all make the same announcements.
Yeah. I'm doing advisory. I hear the same thing I hear in team time.
And I got the same both of them, so I hear you talking.
All right,
That's something that we can talk to your advisors about, but I know for a fact, as a 12th grade advisor, we go over college applications and essays and ACT registration, and that's not occurring in team time. I know that for a fact.
But it could be like 30 minutes, then the next 30 minutes, we do whatever y'all want to do. They can just be all down, cool down for an hour instead of wasting an hour and 30 minutes.
So given, can I push this back, or just kind of, there's been a lot of discussion about team time. And I guess we probably won't have a time to hear all of your opinions, so make sure that you're answering these questions on the back of your paper. But again, rather than throwing out a complaint, we really have to think about, like, what's the alternative to that. So if you have a great idea, you can put that on the table or put it on the paper.
thank you. I go to Ashley.
Respect people's
Due
time.
to the fact that Ashley hasn't spoken yet, and she's had her hand, I need Ashley to respond. And then I see Emmett, and then Steven, and then Diamond, and then due to the fact that time is up, we're gonna stop there.
Last year I wasn't having trouble, keeping up, and I was ahead of pace in all my classes with no problem. And now I'm just frustrated because I don't know what to do, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know whether or not I should have. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we can have a teacher or like teachers that can have more individualized time, because that's what I need. Because I don't. It's certain classes that I need the time to work in, and I don't have that time because of this pay stuff, and it's frustrating because I can't keep up. So I don't know what to do. Like, I need to figure out.
I hope that the new schedule is, I think the schedule is gonna answer some of those frustrations for you, Ashley, and I'd like for you to stay after with us. Quickly, we have Steven, Emmett, and then the Diamond, quickly, Steven, go.
Alright, this pertains to it all, and like Neil was saying about being forced to be in place, like you said, what would we do to like invest our time in team, you know, like get more active in team? If you got a bunch of kids that don't like how pace is going, first of all, they probably don't come to school because of how pace is being worked. We forced to do this. So I think like we get in team and like me, my attitude is the team. Here go another day of the same, like being forced to do something that I'm not usual and I'm not comfortable doing. So it's just like mainly like it's a bunch of frustration towards and a bunch of add on more stress that you actually being forced to do something that you don't want to do. And how many people like being doing stuff that they don't want to do?
You guys, there's a bit of side chatter. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a bit of side chatter. We have 3 people's comments left, and then we're gonna wrap it up, okay?
We also make like competitions for the team, and then everybody want to, you know what I'm saying, want to contribute, man. And as athletes, we lucky, we get after school work time, you know what I'm saying, to make sure we can work there. Everybody else will get there, so that's something about that.
Okay.
I feel like, for me, I mean, I'm flexible, but a lot of people aren't. And I just feel like, you know, y'all gonna get a lot of negativity with this because we changed pace 12 times already. And it just keeps changing and keep changing and keep changing. Schedules change, the way people go to classes change, everything just keeps changing, and people are getting used to a certain system and then it changes on them. So then they're gonna be upset. I personally, I mean, I don't mind the schedule or whatever, but I think true.
Not fair.
But I feel like I forgot what else I was gonna say. But yeah, y'all gonna get negativity, period. Because a lot of people just fed up. They already don't want to be here in pace. And then things keep changing. But I feel like, I mean, I like this schedule personally.
I don't mind, but if the teacher doesn't change the way he or she teaches, what's the point of making it longer? Some students have a problem with that individual teacher, the way they explain things or teach it, or the style of their teaching. And if they don't go back to school to learn how to teach kids, what's the point of even teaching it?
All right, so due to the fact that we are way over time, we appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us. If you have further comments or questions, you can either write them down and hand them in to a teacher, or you can stay after and talk to us. We really appreciate all of you guys' time.